YouTube Live. Just want to say good morning. Great night last night. Thank you for the fun conversation. Still got my glass of scotch. Didn't even bring it downstairs to get it cleaned. Um, just want to say thank you all. I got some great emails last night. Great sharing. Thank you, everyone. Really cool thing happened last night. We are now only $222 away from our $20,000 goal. I want to say good morning to Bill McCray, my pal. How you doing out there? David Wiles, what's up, Dave? I want to know, Dave, are you guys still doing butchering next week? Will you guys be butchering next week or next weekend, not this weekend coming up? Let me know if you are, because I'm going to be going out on the nuisance tag, and I just got to get some venison. We're running low. So let me know if you are. Good morning, Bill. How you doing, buddy? Cheryl, hello. How are you? Just coming on to tell you that we are only $222 away from our $20,000 for Zombie Sama Kickstarter in less than a week, which is pretty amazing. We went live last Wednesday night, so thank you all for that. Really, thank you. I know it's a book that very few of you are familiar with, but like I said, it's really a fun book. It's something different. It's a different take on the whole zombie apocalypse. How to put 100 in? Hey, what's up, Dell? How are you, buddy? Well, Dell, if you do that, here's the link, and if you can go to the link and add to it, that would be great. Plus, I still have your comic book, Dell, with your drawing that I did for you. I just have to come out and see you. So I apologize. My friend Dell Cullum, who actually shot the video for the zombies, for the Company Z Kickstarter. Hey, Dell, do you still have that Company Z Kickstarter? Please type in if you do, like on your hard drive. I know we shot all that footage. We got all those clips in. Let me know if you still have that, because I'd like to start pushing that, because if we hit $25,000, our stretch goal of $25,000, we'll be expanding the Zombie Sama comic to 64 pages and add 6 pages of Company Z to it. I do. Oh, great. Well, maybe I can get out there, come and see you maybe next weekend or something, and bring you the your comic book that you gave me to draw for you, which I did. I think it was Captain America, if I remember. And maybe we can start working on that again. So anyways, guys, thank you very much. This is my first comic book Kickstarter. Everyone has been so great helping me out with it. Brian Polito, as I said, I'm the kid brother he never wanted, has been such a wonderful guide. And everyone remember, February 19th is Lady Death Day. So go on to Brian's page, support Lady Death. Again, huge influence on me, great friend of mine, and a mentor, and someone that I bother way too much, and I apologize for that. Anyway, I've posted a link to the Kickstarter, guys. Like I said, we are $222 away from hitting 20,000. Woo! I was hoping we'd hit 15, our minimum funding, in 30 days, and we did it in a day. So now it looks like we're hitting about $1,000 a day, which is awesome, and I'm so appreciative of that as well. And let's keep it going. I really want to expand the comic. I want to add our new reward levels. We have new reward levels, 2 new variant covers coming. We also have some artwork coming, another new reward level that I'll post the preliminary of the art for it, which is going to be really cool. We'll probably be adding some more original art. I'm going through my art pages right now to throw up some original art myself. I think John has got a page or something. And I'll also be adding more sketch rewards, because I'm not drawing this book, and I want to draw. So I want to do some zombies, which I love. And the reason why I love zombies so much is that anyone can be a zombie. There's so many different types of zombies. For instance, in Company Z, we have irradiated, nuclear contaminated zombies. Real Toxic Avenger type of zombies, which are kind of fun. They explode, you chop them up. They're bubbling, they're pussing out, and things like that. Company Z, which is my last zombie story, we have, they are a human strain of rabies outbreak. That it turns people into rapid, which is a lot more tragic. with my Appalachian Apocalypse. So funny, I have 3 zombie books coming out this year. Appalachian Apocalypse, it's more biblical terms. It's more from the Old Testament about the dead walking the earth and things like that. So it's really cool to have all the different types of zombies. Everyone can do so many different ways: fast zombies, slow zombies, flesh-eating zombies, dead zombies, live zombies, uh, Bela Lugosi, white zombies. Just pretty fantastic. Looking for something on Thursday. We'll be adding a new reward level, which is really cool. It's going to be a variant cover, and it's for Throwback Thursday. Let's leave it at that. And then also on the 22nd, hey Cheryl, how are you? Sworn to the Black, Doug, yeah. Brian, Lady Death, one of the all-time greats, one of the icons of our industry. Brian Pulido, a beacon to the light of all self-publishers and all indie publishers. So again, thank you guys. Like I said, we're only $220 away from hitting 20 grand. If it's at all possible, and you guys can do that at all, please help us out. I'm going to go onto my YouTube channel right now because I'm running here too, and I want to add the link to that. Boy, this is fun. Oh, man, where am I? I'm live. Look at that. I'm live. I'm looking at myself both here and there. Thank you, everybody, for the messages about getting my hair cut. I guess you guys like it. We went out to dinner last night. To lunch last night, Debbie and I. And she basically, while we were having lunch for our 30th first date anniversary, she was looking at me, and I'm like, what? She goes, you need a haircut. So what does any self-respecting husband do? I went out and got myself a haircut. So let's go to that. Let's link that. So anybody have collector box? Ooh, Garner, brother. Do you know anyone who makes any kind of special collector boxes, Garner? Please email me about that. Let's talk about that. That could be a lot of fun. Oh my God, we just jumped up. We are now, I think that was Dell. Hey, Dell. We are now $122 away from hitting 20,000. This is crazy. We have 250 backers. That's 10 more backers than we had during the entire American Kickstarter Apparel backer Kickstarter. Thank you so much, Dell. I love you, pal. I love you. I owe you big time. PM me your email address. I will garner after this for sure. Okay, if you don't hear from me, if I forget, because I'm logging in all of these email addresses that I got at the past couple of conventions. These are all email addresses of people that want to sign up for Zombie Sama, for the Zombie Sama Kickstarter, and I keep forgetting to do that. So if you guys have met, and I love my Facebook friends because they're all here, and then I have other pages there, but all these people have to be filled in. These are all emails that I've got to log in. Someone wrote Jerry. Look at this. See? I'm like, so can I have your email address? I'm going to be pitching my new, Kickstarter, Zombies, launching it. And they said, sure. And they write Jerry. Oh, there's another one. Oh, FU Jerry at optonline.net. Look at this. That's someone I like. FU Jerry. I wonder if that was Soloff who did that. Anyway, so I'm going to start getting those emails out. We're also with our website. My web mistress passed away a year ago. A little over a year ago, and my website's been locked since because I have no idea how to get into it. I finally found someone who does that, so I'm going to be getting her all that information. Our website will be running. It's billytucci.com and crusadefinearts.com, and so you'll be seeing me pushing that as well. We'll have a direct order thing that people can go directly to the website and order a lot of our product because I was in storage, and I also found a whole bunch of old She Mint, She Comics, She mouse pads, action figures, the Vault, I guess, if you will, or the Crypt. I think Brian has the Vault, so it's not the Vault. It's got to be something else. We'll call that the treasure chest. And we'll be launching that for our 25th anniversary. We'll be going hard with our 25th anniversary as a very special book, which we will announce on February 22nd, because something very special happened to me on that day. It's also the day that the United States hockey team beat the Soviets in at Lake Placid in 1980. The Miracle on Ice. Want to see something cool? Look at this. Hang on. I still have. It was one of the greatest nights of my life. We were watching at Vito Carlucci's house, my bro Vito's. I think we had a sleepover that night. And I still have the Daily News from 1980 when the United States Olympic team defeated the Soviets on February 2nd, 1980. Now look how cool this is because it's such a time capsule because it shows that inflation jumps 18%. It just shows how hard times were back then, how terrible things were. And this U.S. Olympic hockey team, you know, the Miracle on Ice, these 21, average age 22-year-old kids defeated the greatest hockey team in the world on a sheet of ice in Lake Placid, New York. So the 22nd of February was a very special day for me, and that's why we're going to be doing our special 25th anniversary project announcement on the 22nd because I needed a miracle. Things were very tough. I had some business partners who actually told me when it was time for the advertising to pay for the ads for our distributors, we owed $44,000 for the ads to the distributors, and that the distributors couldn't release the numbers for the book because we owed them money. And of course, no one would blame them because everyone would, you know, who's this guy from New York, who lives in Queens, who has this comic, but the numbers were good. But they told me to resolicit the book for another 6 months, and another 6 months. I knew that I couldn't do that. I knew this was a time for She, the Way of the Warrior #1 to come out. Where is my sheet? Let's see. Here it is. Here's one. So it was. Here's the book. Here's She, the Way of the Warrior #1, one of them. So what we have is that I believed in this book so much, and I had no money. I was 6 months behind in my rent. My mother had just gotten into a terrible car accident with her Jeep Wagoneer that got flipped over, and she had to get taken out by the jaws of life. She had to be pried out of it. And just things were bad. It was a low point for everything. Again, I had no money. I was working, doing Betty Boop designs, freelance designs, I was 6 months behind in my rent, as I said. Mr. Chang, my landlord, was such a beautiful man, and he told me he had faith in me. And so what I did was I had to raise $4,000. So I went to a bunch of friends, promised them I'd give them 20% on their return. And I was able to raise the money through friends and family, and that saved this comic. So that was the 22nd of February, and that's why we're gonna. And the book itself, She, the Way of the Warrior #1, I believe, was in stores on March 23rd. I think it was Tuesday when the books came in. It depended on the distributors, but I believe it was Tuesday, March 23rd, 1994 is when She hit the stands. My first store signing was in Queens. I'm trying to remember the name of the store. Golly, it was in Astoria, Queens, and I was completely overwhelmed. That's where I first met Buzz, and it was amazing. There was a line of people at the door. So it was a Billy Tucci and She signing, and Buzz selling Vampirella signing, and they. So there's this line of people at the door. I walk in. I don't know what's going on. I walk in, and they have this table set up for me, and all these people are holding my comic. I couldn't believe it. So I sit down. I'm completely overwhelmed. I have no idea what's going on. I didn't know you're supposed to bring Sharpies or anything like that. I think the guy wanted to buy some books for me. I brought a box of books, and Buzz and I were there for, I don't know, it had to be 4 or 5 hours. Then I think I was so happy I ordered pizzas for everybody because I think I had a print. And people were buying the print too, so I had money. Or I sold the retailer the books. Yeah, I sold the retailer the books. And I had money, so I had like, I don't know, a couple $100. So I said, oh, let's buy pizzas for everybody. And we closed that place down. So that was April 7th. By a week or so later, 3 weeks after that book, She, the Way of the Warrior, came out, we had initial orders of 37,000 copies. And thanks to my friends who were able to... my friends were able to lend me money. Of course, they were the first people I paid. We had reorders of over 140,000 comic books. And it just kept going. It just kept going. I think we ended up having reorders for like 200,000 comics. And I'm like, there is no more. I only made 50 of them. So, which is interesting because this is probably one of the few She comics that I haven't signed because I'm still astonished that every show I go to, people bring me a copy of She the Way of the Warrior #1, and I thought I signed them all. So, interesting. I've had my autograph since inception. Thank you. All right, we just jumped up in our Kickstarter, and we are now less than $75 away from hitting our $20,000 goal in 5 days. 6 days. This is our 6th day. That's right, and it starts at night. So if anyone's out there, if you guys could share it, I'm going to post the link. If you could share the link, if you could find a way to pledge to us, we've got a lot of great goals here, a lot of great rewards. I emailed John Brolia, my co-creator today, and Asha Kishner. I'd love to get them on. I'd love to find Brian, I'd love to get our editor, Jeffrey Vaughn, on if he can, to come on live with us. And one comic book goes to Germany. Yes, Germany! Lieben mein kleiner Affen. We just sold a book in Germany through YouTube. I'm going back and forth because I'm running 2 cameras. There's got to be a way to link it all to one camera and go to both. Niall said he'll help me with that. Niall Scala, who shot our quick little videoette for our promotion video, because our next goal will then be 25 grand. And I want to expand this book. I want to add more packages to this. So I know we've got a lot of time. We've got 25 days left on this, but let's try to hit 20 grand today if we can, so I can stop talking. I'm going to come back at lunchtime anyway, because I love doing this. Great to see how well the campaign has gone so far. Thank you, Sean, brother. Appreciate it. Hello, Brenda. How are you? Brenda, one of my very first fans. She's now a beautiful mother raising her beautiful children, beautiful family, and one of my first She fans ever. I think we met you guys when you were a little baby. Not a baby, but a little kid at San Diego Comic-Con. Another one of those days where, one of those shows where we were just broadside. So anyway, so the reason I want to do that special announcement on the 22nd of February, a one-time only thing, we're going to do it. It's going to be a limited edition something. And, oh, hell, I'll tell you. We're going to do a limited edition 25th anniversary Crusade Comics, She the Way the Warrior #1. All new cover, 2 special covers with it. Only 250 of them made. All of them will be numbered, which is my plan. I hope they're all numbered. And that's because of that. Because of that is one of the most important days in history, or Shestory, is that 22nd of February. Yes, tell them about Cheryl. Cheryl is one of the very first. She got a beautiful She tattoo. One of our very, very first people ever. We have an officers meeting tonight, so the Legion's calling. Anyway, so Cheryl, if you could post a picture of your tattoo, that would be amazing. If you go to our website, you go to BillyTucci.com, I think we have Friends of Crusade, and it shows all the people with tattoos and things while we're updating our new website. Yeah, that you brought tears to my eyes, and I think Cheryl was the very first person way back in the day ever to get a She tattoo. And again, you brought tears to my eyes, and I've seen several others since. People still bring them to me with that they got it. What's cool about She is that this character resonates still to this day, and I'm still shocked over it all. I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm just so moved. And that's why you guys have reinvigorated me to do She, because I did it for 10 years. We did about 100 issues, I think. And you just get burnt out doing the same thing. Interesting story is that I had a conversation with Jeannie Schultz, who was Charles Schultz's widow. And I had asked him, I said, well, didn't he want to do something else? Sparky was his name. Everyone called him Sparky. I never got to meet him. And she said, oh, yeah, he had lots of other ideas. But I told him, no, you stick with this. And he did. And he actually had, in his town in California, he had his studio, was like a storefront, I think. And he had a window, almost like a shop, and there he would be drawing peanuts. And people would stop in all the time and talk to him, and he would just spend the day with them. He would just talk to them, and I just, one of my great regrets is never getting to meet him. And also, the 14th, I think it's Valentine's Day, is going to be the 25th anniversary of the passing of Jack Kirby. And I remember my thing is that my comic book's coming out. I'm putting this together. I'm going to go to San Diego Comic-Con this year. And Jack Kirby, I'm going to get to meet Jack Kirby. And he passed away. I'll send you pics later. Thank you, Cheryl. I will, I'll post those, okay? Thank you. So I'm going to post a link again. Where are we now? Yes, we are I can't do math. Is at $72 away from hitting $20,000. Somebody out there, share the link. I just posted if you can. Share with your friends. Let's see if they can put us over the $20,000 mark, and we can start unlocking our stretch goals. Let's see. Also, any questions? I'm going back and forth between YouTube, between Twitter. Okay, here we go. And one comic goes to Germany, number 255. Thank you very much, T-Bear. Really appreciate that. Cool. Let's say thank you, T-Bear. Thank you, T-Bear. Lieben mein kleiner Affen is the only German I know. And I believe that means love my little monkey. So, got it from Sprockets from Saturday Night Live. Anyway, guys, we're so close to this goal. We've got lots of cool new things going. I have to draw 2 other things. Again, my son was pushing me. And then people told me that the Lego, oh my watch on, that Lego, I guess Lego characters or something are in the public domain. Because where's my Zombie Sama little Zombie Sama Lego? My son Matthew came to me and made me a Zombie Sama Lego figure. Did he take it and play with it? I had asked him last night if he can go make a movie for me, and he might have took him to go. That's how sneaky he is, to shoot a little stop motion animated film, and he does that. So he's like, well, it's gonna be really hard to create the zombies, to make them. I don't know if I have the parts, even though I step on 100,000 Legos a day in the playroom over there. Kids' playroom is adjacent to my room, and I could swing this camera over there. You guys on YouTube can see it. It's back there. And those see on the floor, that's all Legos. So maybe my son is actually putting together see how their toys. Even look, if you guys are on YouTube, you could see there's even a Nerf gun in my studio. They just take over. The kids just take over. My Papa got German POWs and taught us how to count to 10 in German. He was very proud of how now sitting. That's cool. Yeah, that's after the war. You crack me up. Hey, you're going to be at C2E2. No, Steve, I will not be at C2E2. I will be, though, at Comic-Con Revolution, June 1st and 2nd. I believe that's the dates, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the Rosemont Center in Chicago. So please come to that. We'll be posting that. I'm hoping that my buddy Hickman comes from the Army. John Neal, Air Force vet. Maybe J.B. Wells. We can get him, another one of my Army buddies, to come out. Crystal Rick to come out. And we'll have a good time. Maybe we can all go and get something to eat. We'll all go somewhere for dinner. Andrew Finney, again, my brother Andrew Finney, who starred in my film, Some Trouble of a Serious Nature, with his brother Brian. And also Andrew Finney makes an appearance in Appalachian Apocalypse. His character's name was George Murch, and his friend was Caleb Flork. And Caleb and George both make appearances in, they're actually integral parts. They're big parts of the story in Appalachian Apocalypse. Issue number 2 comes out this month. I'm not sure the date, but I know that Ethan Nicole is finished with issue number 6. It's just being colored now. I think we're on the last 10 or 12 pages of it being colored. And that book doesn't come out till June. So this book is on time. Bam, bam, bam. Just like Zombie Sama. Zombie Sama, the art is all done. We're just coloring it now. We're finalizing. I got to get the script to Mindy Lopkin, our letterer and designer, start putting that together. So by the time this Kickstarter ends, we should be able to go to press and get that book out and into your hands. And then come at the end of April, we're going to launch the Way of the Return of the Warrior Kickstarter. So I'm very excited about that. Anyway, James Powers, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Let's see here. I am moving. Let's see. I'm trying to go to YouTube back and forth. So again, guys, we're $72 shy of $20,000. I love this whole idea of Kickstarter. I love the idea of Kickstarter. I love the idea of Indiegogo. And the fact that you go directly to the consumer. This is amazing. This is something that Gary Cohn and I had spoken about 20 years ago. to go directly to the consumers, especially for independent publishers, independent creators, because I get it. The retailers, their bread and butter is the Marvel, the DC, your Walking Dead now, and that's a wonderful creator-owned success for Robert Kirkman. And Charlie and Tony. Just an amazing success story. Better guys could not deserve more who have that. But by those big books, that, like I said, the Marvels, the DCs, your Spider-Mans, your Batmans, your Supermans, it's tough to then get to the independents in the retailer catalog, because most of the time the retailers will spend their money on the big two because of all the events. Again, that's a staple with the films and all that. Even though we have a film deal, more about that coming this spring. So I'm very excited about that. I still have my Sheetia Carrera movie poster. Yeah, that was funny. Yes, Mindy, thank you. Can't wait to get started on. I can't wait for you to get started lettering this as well. I just have to finish the script. Go over it, get it to Jeff Vaughn, our editor, get it to Deborah to check it out. Give me a few days on that. Give me a week, okay? I have to finish a cover, work on it, and I finished 2 covers and do that, and then I'll be in Nashua. So also, if anyone is in the Northeast, please go to the Southern New Hampshire Comic Bash by my buddy Randy House. I'll be there all day Saturday signing. And anyone who pledges or who has pledged, I'll give a free quick sketch too for she. And thank you, Steve, for focusing on the indie books. I mean, they're the real gems. Real original content, no corporate interference though. What's really cool though about a lot of the big books now is that you do have these great writers. You have guys like Scott Snyder, for example. You've got guys like Donnie Cates. I mean, these guys are one of Tom King. These guys are fantastic, and the editors today do recognize, and because a lot of them are writers themselves, and they do recognize the great talent out there, and they do recognize and say, yeah, run with it, go with it. I mean, you got to give props to DC. I mean, who else would say, think about it 30 years ago, like, Joker's going to cut his face off. They'd be like, are you kidding me? And, today they're like, yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. Let's have the Joker cut his face off. So, and then boom, look what it is, So, like I said, you got guys like Scott, you got guys like Tom, you got guys like Donnie, Jimmy Palmiotti, Jimmy and Amanda. I mean, just, man, if Jimmy came up to me with a book and Amanda, we want to do this, I'm like, run with it. Same thing. I mean, there's just so many. But unfortunately, a lot of guys don't get that chance to get to in that level, to get to do those books until you make your own comic, until you produce your own comic and you get your own book. You do your own book. You make your own book. You go directly to the fans. You go to your friends. You go to the consumer out there, and you have a good product. It will sell. It may not sell immediately. It may not hit 20,000 in a Kickstarter, but as long as you get that book out there in the hands of people, in the hands of reviewers, it will sell. This is our time. This is an amazing time for creators to publish their own books. If you can't publish your own book, if you don't have the funds to actually have it printed, because that's the biggest cost, do it digitally. Do a web comic, because the web comics, even the Eisner Awards, there are Eisner Awards now for web comics. You get that success, you get that following, you get that press, that notoriety, that praise. You get those books out there, and then you will be able to create a crowd-funded book. And then you will be able, if you need $3,000 or so to get it published, because there's nothing like seeing this when you open a box 25 years ago, when you're just a mere lark, a 26, 27-year-old kid like I was, who had spent his college years designing children's clothes for Macy's and working freelance, designing T-shirts and stuff. When you decide to take the plunge and do your own book, and then you open that box and they're laid out like that, and you see this. And that's what it's all about. This is when you see this. Let's get rid of that. Yes, I see that the post call. Thank you. And you open it up, and it still smells new. It's been bagged and boarded for 25 years. And you see these pages. And then another cool thing is that you do books. There used to be a thing called the Comics Code. And the Comics Code was right here. And the Comics Code Authority, and we got called by them when they saw me in previews about doing it. And they were trying to force me to pay $750 to be a part of this Comics Code. And growing up, all I remember seeing was approved by the Comics Code Authority. So I got on the phone with the guy and I was asking him, and it was real bullying, very, very curt, very straightforward. Like, this is what you got to do. You want your books in comic shops, you have to go with us. And after talking to him for about 45 minutes and him trying to get $750 from me, which I didn't have the money, I had nothing, I said, so wait a minute, I really don't need this, do I? I said, because everything you're saying that the Comics Code Authority is about, I disagree with. I don't care if there's murder in the books. I don't care if you have a gang and all the gang's Asians. If you're in Chinatown, the guy's attacking you, you're not going to have one Asian, one black guy, and one white guy attacking. It's an Asian gang. So what? About monsters, about, you can't have monsters in it. You can't have decapitation in it. All this crap. I'm like, that's not my book. I'm not having that in it. Also, things like this, like shocking, no nudity or whatever. Now, of course, she was covered, but, and we shocked the world with this cover. I mean, with this opening page. When she was meditating, because the Sohai monks, the Buddhist monks, would meditate in incense in the nude. So I did, well, why not have my character incense in the, meditate in the nude before she goes out for battle. And then we go here. We're going to do a revisit of this book. But you see her now, and she's nude again. Oh, behave. Look at that. And just Arashi the Storm, and of course me with my Hokusai again. I just love that. That is one of the biggest influences of my illustration is Japanese woodblock, specifically Hokusai, and Kuniyoshi is another great one. But just so much fun. Since I really didn't know what I was doing, I was just trying to do things as a film. And have her, and putting on the clothing and all, and then drawing her swords, and wow. And remember, then people told comics like this. Now that we're redigitizing all these books, they got to be told like this. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to do that, which will be fun. I can do it. But again, guys, there's nothing in the world like publishing your own comic, even if it is out digitally. You get it out digitally. Get that book out there. Get people to do it. And whoa! We just hit 20,000. We're 20,018. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Let me go to there's a Kickstarter Live. I wonder if I could do Kickstarter Live as well. I'm going to try that too. I might go 3 ways. That's your tattoo. That's right, Cheryl. That's your tattoo. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys. Backer report. We are over $20,000. Holy moly. Woo! Project RX. Thank you so much, Project RX. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Andreas. Thank you, Dell. You guys have put us over $20,000. Hey, John Broly, we hit over $20,000. I wonder if I can invite someone here, because I'd like to see if I can get... invite. I'm going to go see if I can get Jeff Vaughn, our executive editor, or John Broly on right now. Let's see. I'm going to invite Asha to see if she's here, but she might be working, so we'll have Asha on at 12. But here's Jeffrey Vaughn. Let's see if Jeff might be in Baltimore. And I'm going to see if John Broly, because I know John Broly is working all night. So I'm going to see if John Broly is here. John Brolia. Let's see if I can invite John. So I invited John, right? I invited him. So let's see if these guys can come on. Let's see how this works. Hello, everybody out there, YouTube. Good to see you guys. You guys had the cool thing that you could actually pan and see my studio better. And there's my water or my scotch from last night. And we could swing around. You go here with all my son's playroom and my World War II stuff, and then it gets messy. I got to clean all that. Anyway, so guys, thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't believe that we've hit 20,000. I don't know what to say. Thank you all. Varel, thank you, brother. Alan Papperton, good to see you guys. Julie, thank you so much. We've hit 20,000. All right, I'm going to unlock let me see if I can go on Facebook now. I guess you'd have to walk away. But hey, Niall Scala. Let's see if I can find Niall Scala. And Niall made this quick it's just a little fun little clip. It's maybe 5 seconds long. But here's Niall. Let's see if Niall's on. I invited Niall. I don't know how these things work. I'm going to figure out YouTube, guys, so we can start really interacting with that. Let me go to my YouTube page and post something. Again, guys, if you guys don't mind, please, 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 Log on, share the Kickstarter. I just posted the link. Man, now we're gonna get going. We're gonna start rocking and rolling. We're now less than $5,000 away from expanding this book to 64 pages with new story content. It's awesome publishing your own comic. There's nothing like it. Joe, Simon, Jack Kirby love having their own publishing studio on comics with titles like Foxhole and Bullseye. Absolutely. Just fantastic. It really is. Guys, if you're budding creators out there, if you want to do your own books, man, by George, do your own books. Just like John Romita told me 25 years ago, probably in the fall, it was probably the fall, it's probably October or so, that my mentor, John Tartaglione, who was a longtime Marvel art director, bullpenner, inker, incredible artist, worked on every title there is, also worked on the Pope comic, the Pope John Paul comic, the Mother Teresa comic. I think they sold in the millions. John set me up an interview with John Romita. So I went to John Romita, and my samples that I had shown was the first 10 or 12 pages of She, the Way, the Warrior #1. Yeah, it had to be the summer. It was after San Diego Comic-Con. That's what it was. And that's another story. San Diego Comic-Con 1993. So I went, showed my samples to John Romita. He liked him. He had one or few comments, just a few comments. Nothing but yeah, shouldn't that be a little more rounder? You know, if it's around the arm, that band should be a little more round, little things like that. He loved my faces. He said, wow, this is interesting. It's different than anything we have here. Because my character's a little more elongated, a little more fashiony, I guess, if you will. And he said, well, by the way, what is this? What is this art from? And I told him, I said, it's a comic I'm publishing that I plan to publish in the spring. I already solicited. I'm going to solicit through previews. It's coming out in March. And John said, well, then what the hell are you doing here? And I said, what do you mean, what am I doing here? I want to, I want to work for the prize. This is the brass ring, Marvel and DC. He says, you're planning to publish your own comic book? And you're here trying to work for Marvel and DC? I said, yeah. He goes, publish your own damn book. He goes, if it doesn't work out, here's my phone number. He gave me his own number, his private number. Call me. You'll always have work here if you want. And that was one of the greatest, one of the most wonderful experiences of my life is how he was able to do that. And he sent me on my way. And, as they say, the rest is history or shistory. And I told Johnny Jr., I met Johnny Jr. At San Diego Comic-Con in 1994. And when we got to San Diego in 1994, now let's go back to San Diego Comic-Con 1993. I'm sitting there, my brother Mark Sasso, and I are out there trying to get work. Mark's a phenomenal painter, phenomenal illustrator. He got a lot of work. I got nothing. I was told by editors, well, that's not a Marvel face. DC doesn't, this is not a DC style of drawing. One editor asked me if I knew of Jim Lee. Of course I did. And he asked me if I could draw like Jim Lee, that he has an issue for me. But I'd have to ape Jim Lee's style. Now, first of all, I don't want to ape anyone's style. Secondly, it's Jim Lee. Jim Lee is Jim Lee. He's, one of the greatest comic book artists of all time. I never could ape Jim Lee if I even tried. So I was rejected, but one person did talk to me, and that was Brian Pulido. Brian Pulido had a 6-foot table, I think it was, in small press. It might have been a 3-foot table. It was a little higher up, and Brian was so engaging, so encouraging. So he looked at my samples. I think he said I gave him a pack of my samples. And I don't know if Brian is still on, but I think Brian said that he still has those samples and he wants to share them, which would be kind of funny to see. And Brian was so encouraging to me, so spot on, to help me, to encourage me, to push me to do. Look what he's doing. He had an Evil Ernie book. And he said he has a book coming out called Lady Death. I think he said he mentioned the title, or he just told me he had a book going for me. And then a few weeks later, Brian called me and offered me my very first comic book work. And that was, and because I don't listen half the time, it was it was for the Lady Death swimsuit issue. And it was a pinup for Lady Death. And it was, I didn't know it was a swimsuit issue. Mark Sasso did a piece in it. He knew it was a swimsuit issue because he listened. I didn't. I put her in this like mermaid dress, which I guess kind of worked out because it was a swimsuit issue with the mermaid dress. And then when the book came out, he paid me. And I think I sent him the check back because, you know, by then things had really taken off for us and we didn't need it. But aside from that, I waited on lines for 3-4 days at the San Diego Comic-Con 1993 trying to get work. Couldn't get any work except for from Brian Pulido. And thank you, Brian. And in our 25th anniversary comics, there's a letter to Brian. I tell that same story, and there's a mention to Brian Pulido. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, brother, for that. And because of you and because of your generosity and your time, here we are 25 years later, and now I am not only doing She and bringing She back, but I'm bringing new comics back with a new young artist in John Broly. He's young, but and he's incredibly established. He's one of the best storytellers I've ever seen. He's got such a whimsical style about his art, and I don't know, man. I get back to that whole thing. It's like we're Reagan kids, Anyway, guys. I'm going to get going. I'm going to see what we're at because we were at $20,000. And I got to be honest with you, I just want to look at that number. And I'm going to refresh it and then it zooms up. Let's see. Let's see if it did it. $20,000, 18. 153 backers. Thank you, guys. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to get going. Hey, Christina Mintz, my niece Christina. How are you? Great to see you. I had a great time at your engagement party. Talia, love you guys. Can't wait to see you all in August for the wedding. Guys out there, I'm going to come back at 12 o'clock. I'm going to try to post our Company Z trailer, and then I'm also going to post the Company Z art, and I'm going to post some John Broly art for our next reward level that'll be offered this week. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart. We hit $20,000. You guys are great. We're hitting like $1,000 a day. This is just amazing. I know it's not She, and I know a lot of people are telling me that when's She coming out, but trust me, nobody had faith in She when this first came out. But you know what? 253 of you do have faith in Zombie Sama, and you guys just made my day. So, Michael, good to see you. Christina, good to see you. Joel, love you, buddy. Joe Loopy, my nephew Joseph, what's up, brother? Avi, how are you? I want to get going. Actually, I want to talk all day, but I got a lot of work to do. So I've got to get our website stuff going. I've got to log in all these emails from all these people that want to pledge to Zombie Sama that I haven't sent them emails. And thanks a million. All right, guys. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube first. Thank you, guys. Talk to you back at 12 o'clock. I'll figure YouTube out and see how I can post updates that people know I'll be coming on live. And I'm going to start having fun with these parties. We're going to have YouTube live parties, Facebook live parties. And maybe we could do one at night. Next week, I think next weekend, let's do something and let's all have a drink and eat some chips. So thank you, guys. I'll be posting stuff daily, and rock and roll. Everyone have a great day. It's warm out. It's going to be 60 degrees here in the Northeast. I can't believe it from being 12 degrees. Sucks that the ice is melted. My son William's already bummed out about that, but maybe we'll hit the rink next weekend, too, if it doesn't warm up. Thanks, guys. Salute. See you later. And remember, peace, love, Zombie Sama. Let's end that. Boom. I do want to end it. See you guys later.